All right, now take the All right.
Okay, hold on. I'm fucking up already.
All right, y'all. So.
Maybe this is a sign I don't need to squirt no hookah.
Yeah, I need your coffee. My shit down.
Oh, yeah. Mess up my makeup water and shit.
All right, so first and foremost, after today, y'all gonna be able to get me on YouTube and Anchor. So I'm gonna post that when I'm done, cause this gonna be my first podcast.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Like I'm looking at this. Okay, good.
All right, so today the podcast is about losing like a significant other, and like just basically like the trauma from that, and how you get through that. Like, so I'm gonna just start off and like let you tell your story, and I'll ask questions.
Okay.
In the meantime, in between time.
Okay. Well, hi. I'm Michaela, everyone. So yes, recently I have definitely been going through a very traumatic experience that I never thought I would have to go through. I'm still trying to figure out how to really go through it. There's really no correct way to get through it.
Right.
It's kind of just getting through it day by day. But in September, my son, his father, he got murdered. And just thinking about it is
Because you never really had to talk about it.
you know, and yeah, pretty much. Like I've talked about it, but like not really, because it's something that like I'm trying to figure out how. Like I feel like I was trying to stay so strong while I was
and
pregnant.
you like made your feelings like just
numb.
Yeah. So, all right. So like you was pregnant still, right?
So I was about 3 months pregnant whenever he got killed. Yeah, like we
so
had
you
just
went through
found
your
out.
whole pregnancy.
Yeah,
wow.
like we had just found out. We had actually like just decided to keep the baby and stay together, because I didn't want to have another child and not I'm like I already have 2 sons, and I want someone to be in all of my kids' lives and everything like that. So definitely losing him, the thought just it a whole game changer.
And then it's like, good thing you really didn't terminate the pregnancy, because that would have been the only thing that you have. So like, just tell us the background story about what happened.
So pretty much he was like set up. He was pretty much set up, and we were it was I can't remember what day of the week. I want to say maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday. But we were at the apartment. We were just sleeping. And he got a phone call. We were like kind of just waking up. We had a busy day, so we were like both tired. And yeah, he got a phone call. He answered it, and who he was on the phone with, he sounded very familiar. With him, he sounded comfortable with him. And he was like, "My little cousin finna come over and smoke, whatever like that." Long story short, without getting into too many details, he was just like, he didn't know that extra people were coming with him. So like whenever Mook knew that they had 2 extra people with the little cousin that was coming over, he was like, "Go in the room, some niggas finna come up here." And I'm like, I'm confused, because I'm just like, he's never told me that before. I'm like, what you mean? Like I'm just, everything that what he said, like everything just changed.
Yeah.
Right. And so
you feel like he knew something was about
he definitely knew. And me knowing Mook, how he moves, with like, if he don't know, he's not gonna involve somebody that he cares about or love, because he don't know.
Right.
So me and him, I was like I was mad. Okay, let me finish telling the story. So whenever they came inside, I was in the room. So they never seen me and I never seen them. I don't even know that they knew that I was there.
Ooh.
Right. So
that's some first 48 shit.
I was just about to tell you. I was gonna tell them like this was a very, very, very first 48 situation.
Yeah.
Like every time I watch First 48, I just look at myself being in that interrogation room. They asking me like I'm a suspect. And I'm just very confused. Like I don't know what to think, what to do, where to look. I don't know nothing.
Right.
Everything that I was planning in my life just completely
in
360.
Yeah.
So but they left out the apartment. They were in there for a couple minutes, like maybe 3. they left out. I heard the door shut, and then he called me out there. He had a different shirt on. He was like, I'm finna leave. I love you. I'll be back in a few. I'm not gonna be that long. And me and him were texting whenever he left because he wasn't supposed to leave. Like, our day was so busy that we was like, we just chilling the whole night. Thing, yeah. So I was like, what you doing? Like, why are you leaving, whatever like that? And he was like, I'll be back, this, and that, whatever like that. And then I wake up to phone calls of, So it's just really like...
So it's like literally like one thing, like literally you seen him and then like you didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like so fast. So like when you woke up to the phone call, like was it like an instant like I knew it?
No, it was like I was confused because I was in the room, the light was still on because like I said, we were sleeping. So the person called and pretty much to me woke him up out of his sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, like he maybe could have fell, in the news report they say he fell asleep, and I was like maybe he could have because I fell asleep right after he left. Like the light was still on in the room. So whenever I got the phone call, I was just like, huh?
Right, like I was
like, and it wasn't that long. Like after he had left, like he left at like 10 something. I got the call like he had already passed away at like maybe 2, 3. Right. So like legit, like it just I didn't know what to think. Then I'm thinking about the day that we had, and he was in the game, just in the streets hustling and all that. So I didn't know what to think. It's a lot. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know. I was scared. I didn't know what to say. Like if I should tell them everything because I'm just like I don't want to incriminate myself, but I'm just like whatever they need to know, to figure out what's going on. What happened?
Y'all still like never got justice.
No, they arrested people in the case, but they had to let them go because they didn't have enough evidence.
So you still never even really got closure?
Because I know who did it. We know who did it. It's just how they did it. They played him so close that they did it in I would say like a back in the day type. You know what I'm saying? Like played him real close. And they burnt the rental car, everything that they
Oh, so this was planned. Yeah, like this was like definitely like.
And I'm gonna say this: the people that were involved, we had just came to Essence Festival with us. Like the first week of July, the first weekend in July. So this was like a month apart. So like all this is playing back exactly. All of it's playing back in my head, and I'm just feeling so bad for Mook because I feel like he did not see it coming.
Right, like he trusted them.
Like, he always prepared me. Like I'm not gonna be here forever. Stuff like that. Like I'm thinking
because he knew he was in the streets.
Exactly, and he knew that beef never dies. Like that's one thing he told me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he always prepared me for situations because you never knew was gonna happen, but I definitely was not expecting that fast. I wasn't even expecting somebody to, because he was so on his like he was so how he moved. You know what I'm saying? Like how I watched him. Like he was very
careful.
Very, very careful.
So that's why it had to be somebody close because nobody outside the circle could ever get in. Definitely. So how you feel like as far as like, you had to go through your whole pregnancy without him and like just imagining like what kind of day he would be or like
and I seen how he would, the type of day he was before he even left because he has 2 daughters. So so seeing him with them, I think about it a lot and I think about how he would have been with
and then it's his first and only boy. So
and I think about how he was with my kids, like like they loved him, they adored him. He was just overall a good person, but going through my pregnancy was really, really tough. My 2 sons that I had, well now I have 3, but my older 2 sons, they had the same dad and we were together for a long time, so I had him with me.
Right.
And it was like literally all the fear that I did not want to happen was happening by not a choice. Right. Like it's not like he just didn't want to be like didn't want nothing to do with the baby. Just a deadbeat. Yeah, like he wasn't even here to make that decision. So to be honest, like for him and his kids, I really feel like they were really robbed.
Right.
That's really that's what it is. They really were. And to be honest, like I don't know how I'm gonna. I'm thinking about like now, like whenever he reaches milestones, like I'm just thinking about.
I can only imagine. Like I always say, like even just being a single parent, like I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm a I'm not like my baby daddy is in his life.
Yeah, but I mean, you keep him
right.
Y'all
so
are
it's
together.
just like I couldn't imagine if like I had to do all this by myself. Like, and then like you said, it's not even a choice. Like, you know, that's something that just happened,
Exactly.
and it was unfortunate in how he died. So it's just like, so do you feel like, you know, like his side of the family, like the daddy side of the family, like make up for his part?
Yeah, I think like I definitely feel like it was all like, you know, a blessing. Like that he has a family that definitely, like, that's what attracted me from him. He's family oriented, so he comes from a family of loving and you know, good morals. So definitely, I'm counting on them to make him, you know, just tell him everything that they can and have him as much a part of his life as we can.
So he didn't even know that it was a boy.
He didn't. He knew. We, like I said, we knew that I was pregnant. His mama had found out and everything, but we didn't know. So yeah, and it's like I have my other two sons. They're 3 and 4, so they definitely are like my little men. Like they take care of me. Like they hold it down. Like, you know, and they definitely have been there while I was pregnant. Just you know. So
yeah, that's tough.
It is. They do, and it makes you understand. Like whenever you see your sons and how they look at you and appreciate you.
Yes, it makes you feel anything that's going on in life. It don't even matter.
And anytime you feel like maybe you're not doing a good job as a parent or just anything,
they
like
just validate
they give
you.
Exactly, they validate.
So how you feel like as far as like the steps that you have to take to like make him, like, keep his dad name alive in his life? Because, you know, it's gonna come a point in time like when he's older and like I'm sure you've been moved on by then, you know, married, whatever the case may be, because he's 3 months now, about to be 3 months, so that's like a year.
You know, and that's like, so literally, y'all, I have just been trying, like, people, like, I don't know how, I don't even know how I'm gonna like try to even be serious with somebody anytime soon. And I'm scared because I feel like, what if I be that lady that's like don't even want to be with nobody no more? Like, you know, eventually.
Could you just feel like, is it like the fear of like losing somebody like that again, or is it just the fear of like everything you feel like you love, like?
Yeah, like that situation definitely has added to my anxiety. Like just anxiety because I lost my dad and that was the closest person to me. And I thought that I had like experienced. I thought death would never hit me the same until Mook got killed.
So you lost your daddy first.
I lost him in 2017.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I'm like, that's the closest person to me. That was the first like real close death that I had. But then losing someone that you have a child with, and you know that you just cared about as a person, and you wanted to see them do so good.
And it's like you said, like y'all never even found out like y'all didn't do nothing together versus like your first. How, you know, your first 2 kids, the daddy was there. Like, you know, y'all did everything together. So that's like a big transition. Then it's like something that, it's not like he in jail to where you can go let your son see him and it can still, like, it's like a life is.
It's like I said, it's no option. You know, so it's just like, it's that part is sitting in pretty much now. Like,
so how do you deal with it besides like not dealing with it? Like when you like in the room by yourself and like you just have these little faint memories, or like you in this trance to where like you just really thinking about it, like you looking at your son, you see him in your son, like how you deal with that?
I definitely have moments when I cry, you know, when I'm by myself, but I definitely I've been through a lot in life, so like life does not surprise me. It doesn't, but I'm not saying that I don't have feelings either. It's like I've learned how to deal with things to keep myself from going into stages. Like my anxiety, like I can have full control over my anxiety. Years ago, whenever I found out, I didn't. So it's like I just try to remind myself of things that, you know, like really my kids are the only thing that keep me going. I'm gonna be honest with you, my kids. Like I look at them and I look at the life that they deserve, and I look at just the mother that I want to be, the mother that I am.
So you just gotta keep going. That's what you tell yourself. Like, so I'm saying, like, what if it's ever a time to where like you gotta deal with it, like, you know, the kids away, like, you know, you just by yourself, like, so like basically like if somebody else just lost somebody, you know, their significant other or whatever, somebody close to them, like how would you tell them to deal with it?
Definitely don't hold it in. Like talk to people that are close to you. Let people be supportive of you. You know, like
receive it.
Yeah, like let people be there for you. I'm somebody, I have a little bit of a hard time letting people be there for me, but that's because I'm somebody who I don't like people to see my vulnerability easily. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to just, like and it just goes back to past experiences where people have used my vulnerability whenever I have, showed it to them, they've used it against me or just tried to, make it as if it's a bad thing, and I look back at it and it's not, because it's literally made me the person, the mom, just the young woman that I am.
Right. Just all together, like, well-rounded individual.
And I definitely, prayer. I mean, I pray a lot. I definitely pray a lot. I have a good relationship with God. I definitely believe that people from the other side can show you signs and stuff like that. So ever since my daddy passed, like, when certain things happen, or, like, I've learned to take it day by day and just let it be what it's gonna be.
Right, like just deal with it on a daily basis.
Because that's all you can do. And really, I'm gonna say that that's probably the best advice, because you don't know how to deal with situations until you're in them. You don't know how.
Right, you can always say what you will do or how, and then when you in that situation, it's just like, damn, I thought I was cool.
Exactly, and like I said, just for me having, like, I used to have severe anxiety. Like, I really, really, really have to, like, keep myself going, because it's just having that, just being in a cycle of family anxiety and stuff like that, like,
or just being around people. But I know, like, also, like, when you lose somebody close to you, like, you around people all day, and but it's gonna be nights where you by yourself and you call that one person who say, oh, if you need me, call me, and they ain't there, so you gotta deal with it by yourself. Like, your kids sleep, you just look. I do that with my son, like, and his daddy here, like, I just look at him like, dang, like, I wish or like, you felt like you failed as a parent or whatever the case may be, and it's just like you look at them and you just start overthinking stuff, period. All the time. It's just like, so that's why I was asking, like, how you feel about, how do you deal with that? Like, when there's nobody there, like, the only person that is God, and, he can't come down and just talk like this. So it's just like, damn, I'm by myself, or like, what if? Or I know you think, like, a lot of, like, what if they would have seen me? Like, what if they would have known,
like, that's one of the reasons, like, it's so much that goes through my head. Like, whenever that happened, I moved from Baton Rouge completely, because my car had been involved in just other stuff. Like, it was just so much going on that I was like, I have to get away. And it's hard. Dealing with things by yourself isn't ideal. But I'm somebody who, unfortunately, that's one of the ways I've had to kind of deal with a lot of stuff by myself. So, like I said, I'm learning how to let people be there for me. Positive people, who need to be there. And so it's helping me. It's just a day by day, literally.
So did you, like, go through, like, postpartum? Like,
I felt like I was. I felt myself kind of, and then I'm just, like I said,
like, just snap out of it.
And it's not even snap out of it. It's just like, talk to somebody about how I'm feeling. Like, I see a therapist, and I don't feel like anything's wrong with seeing a therapist.
Right.
Just because they teach you how to mentally deal with situations.
Because only thing a therapist do is just, like, they take what you're saying and just make it to a way that your feelings are heard and understood to you. And, like,
and they teach you how to communicate also.
Right, and it's like, I don't know why I feel like this or that and the other, and then it's like, oh, you feel like this because of X, Y, and Z, but they not telling you nothing, like, that you didn't already tell them.
Exactly.
So it's just basically like, they just been a median for you and yourself.
They're trying to, like, make you understand, or maybe show you something that you don't see.
Yeah.
And like, then once you let it sink in and then apply it to, like, real life situations that you're going through, then it definitely helps.
What a therapist too, like, I've never seen one, but I mean, I have a degree in psychology, but like, yeah.
And I was like, okay, you got a smart one. Yes.
But no, but yeah, like, even with those things, like, you still have to apply. Like, it's not like you go to therapy for a month and then you good. Like, that stuff has to be applied every day.
I'm literally telling you, years. Like, I'm 23. I started seeing a therapist whenever I was a senior in high school. So that's years. Like, that was in 2015 I graduated. So from, like, 2014 till now, 2020. And it's just like, you think you know how to do, like, you think you know how to deal with stuff, and then, like, you feel yourself maybe forgetting and stuff. So that's just why, you know, I've continued to see him. But I definitely encourage people to try it. You know, therapy isn't for some people. It really isn't. But I definitely give people a go because, you know, you don't know why you're feeling how you're feeling. But maybe if you have someone who's not biased to anything that you're going through.
They don't know you or nothing.
They don't know, you know, the other people. My therapist has told me plenty of times when I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just not necessarily wrong, but like maybe try to
look at it from another angle.
Exactly.
Or like stop trying to figure out what they wrong at, like analyze yourself.
And the main thing that I learned was you can't change people.
Right.
So a lot of my a lot of stuff that I was upset about, or just, you know, back then, I let go whenever I learned how to.
Yeah. So how do you feel like about, as far as like the stigma, like, you know, you say that he was in the streets, like your baby daddy was in the streets, so how do you feel like about that, about like you have a son, you know what I'm saying? Well, you have three sons. But, you know, just from coming from your last baby daddy who got killed, like, you know, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like you gotta work extra hard to make sure he don't become a stigma or a statistic?
I definitely,
like, you know,
yeah. So pretty much, like, my plan is to be great so that I can be great for my children. Like every day, I just try to, you know, just figure out how. But like, I mean, just little things like I would like think about them having like a little lawn service, like, you know, whenever they're around the age, you know, just
stand.
something.
They old enough now for a lemonade stand.
You know, exactly. Like, teach them stuff while they're young. Like, build that foundation now so that they don't have to even see what it's about. Now, not having them green, granted, because, you know, you don't want to have your kids not knowing, and you don't want to have your kids sheltered because that always backfires.
Right, and the world will show them anyway.
Exactly, and you would rather them see, and I was like, I always say, was so close to my daddy, and he was the one in my life that showed me life before life.
Right.
Like, so it's like,
gave you a preview of it, so when you went out there, you wasn't like
or just even now, like certain stuff that he would tell me back then, like I see what he was talking about, you know. But just definitely, like I said, building that foundation for them and giving them the tools so that they don't have to go try to figure it out on their own. Like, and you get what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, so someone said, did you ever question God, like, why this happening to me?
Did I ever question him directly? No, but the thought of why, definitely. You know, they say you're not supposed to question God, but you definitely think to yourself, why? You know, like, you're like
why me?
Why me? And
why him?
Why my son? You know, why just his family just involved, period. So I definitely, whenever I get to thinking like that, I just try to steer to the positive part of it, which is that he has someone who looks just like him, and every time I look at him, I think about his daddy, you know. But and just trying to like educate others on how to deal with it, you know, because it's
because you
hard.
was young. I mean, you young.
I'm young. I'm young, and a lot of stuff that I've dealt with, I thank God that I dealt with it earlier, because I'm like, I know stuff now that like people that are like 30, like they're like, you know, they just don't get it, or I'm like, I find myself talking to them, telling them advice, and I'm just like,
older than me,
you know, I'm just like, shit, pretty much that's how I be feeling. But you know, everybody, like, literally, I've been to the point with things in life that I understand God does everything for a reason. Right. So,
but it's just like in that moment, it's just like you don't think about that. Like I ain't never lost like a significant other, nothing. I ain't never lost like a significant other, nothing like that. But I've lost like my dad. I just lost my dad or whatever. But we wasn't close like at all. Yeah. So it was just like the hurt from like not knowing him, like, you know.
And my sisters, like, so I have two sisters and we all have the same daddy, but me and him were very close. So whenever he passed away, they had to deal with not being like that, they didn't choose like to be guilt. So close. The guilt. So you know, with death, it's so many different angles emotions, of grieving. So that's why I definitely say with death, period, there's no politically correct way to deal with it, and I don't care what people say.
So do you feel like it's your job to like, or it's something that he would want, which would make it your job to like keep his kids close, like let his kids know each other?
Definitely. Like I was just telling TJ to let me know whenever Sanaya's birthday was, so that we can get her present and come, because like I often a lot of times find myself like thinking about if he was here, like, you know, I'm like, I want to make him proud. That's how that I guess really is what makes me keep going.
You know he wouldn't want you like.
And I know that he knows, like he appreciated the type of mother that I was to my sons. You know, so I know that he's watching down over us. I know he didn't just leave us or just his family. Like, he didn't leave this world so easily like that for nothing better to come out of it, if that makes sense. So just thinking about if I'm making him proud, you know, just making him proud and just doing a good job with his son and keeping his kids close, because I definitely encourage young fathers. So, you know, since he isn't here, it's
so do like the
you think your baby was
So do you like feel like do like the baby mamas get along? Like, do all y'all get along?
I mean, yeah, it's mutual. I'm somebody, I have one focus, that's my kids and my life. So like anything extra, and that's with anybody, you know, I just keep it moving. So I'm cordial, I'm an adult, like, you know, so I know how to be civil, especially with children involved. So it's cordial.
Well, that's good.
You know, I don't feel like it has to be like this.
Right.
You know, as long as it's no
as
no
long
BS.
as it's real and it ain't like, cause you know, usually when it's like that, it's
fake. But you know, that's why I just keep my distance, keep it moving. But I will always do what's in the best interest for my child or just children involved. Period.
Right. So do you feel like because he was in the streets, like the police didn't like really like have a big effort on doing nothing?
No, and this is so crazy, right? This is how small life works. Like the detective that was working his case, I knew him from when he worked at Baker and Head of Narcotics. Like some other stuff that like went on whenever I was young. You know, like so he definitely knows me and my mom and my dad. Like he knows my family. So he was very shocked, I guess you could say, to he was just like, whenever we was working, he was like, they did him very bad. He was like, no, like he really, 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 and I believe he still wants justice for him. I'm sure if I called him right now and talked to him about it, he would probably be really upset that he didn't have enough evidence to keep them in jail.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that with it being drugs and all that, they'll try to make it
like drug related.
You know, like it's like, you know, whenever something like that, pretty much they always run to is drugs. So they're gonna investigate it, I feel like, because that's their job.
Right, but they're not gonna like really do what they would if it was,
you know, like
else.
If it was a different situation. And especially in this situation, the most hurtful is we don't know, like they're really like I know, and I feel like I really know, like you know, and it sucks so bad that
how did that make you feel though? Like knowing that
horrible.
Who it is, and like they not in jail, like they get to be with their kids, their family, like or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just
I deal with resisting the anger. I really, really do. You know, like I'm not in the streets or nothing no more, but I definitely deal with that. You know, like I'm not green by a long shot. So it's like I definitely have to refrain from the thought of doing something that could jeopardize
being taken away from your kids.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and you know, my thoughts have gotten so just horrible that I'm thinking about doing stuff to like, you know, their girlfriends or just, you know, stuff like that, because it's just like
you want to inflict that same pain, like because you go forever hurt. Like I couldn't imagine like having a newborn baby, going through your whole pregnancy, and like it's just like he never really got to experience none of that.
And it's like I just know, like even whenever I was having the baby, like I just literally I heard him just being there with me, you know, and it's just I always see him just smiling, you know, like I feel like he definitely makes my memory think of him just whenever I do have those thoughts and I do get sad, and it's just like I did right. And one of the things that keep me going, I guess, is I know he would have been so happy, you know, like I just know he would have been proud, like I just know he would have been overjoyed, and it just reminds me of why I fell in love with him and just, you know, just wanted to have a baby and just try it out.
So was he like the one like no, keep it, like type of thing?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, because I was like, I already have two sons, like, you know, I mean, they have this, you know, same daddy, their daddy's there, but being a single mother it's a lot.
Because you take on more responsibility because they love with you, or like, you know, you always have them, and they visit the dad and stuff like that, so it's like you're a full-time plus with a newborn, and they way older too, so it'd be like you starting all over.
Pretty much. But I mean, whenever I found out he was like, so what you want to do? You know, and I was just like, I don't really know. Like, really, my mind was flustered completely because I'm just like, I don't know. Like, you know, do you? Because I mean, life's not a joke. Kids don't make people stay. So I really hope people will stop like using that strategy to have children these days because because it does not work, baby. It's you're not gonna pass that one, but you know, I'm just like, you know, thinking. I don't know. You know, just so much I was thinking about, and again, him being him, regardless if me and him would have been together forever, I know that he would have been involved with his son and my kids. Like, you know, that was the main thing too. Like, my kids, they took to him, you know. They'll
so how
tell
long
you
was y'all together?
So we were together for like...
Or knowing each other.
Knowing each other.
Messing. Whatever.
For like a year. Then we knew each
other. So you didn't even really like...
And okay, so this is really funny. His brother, Cheese, right? His brother had seen me at the corner store by the neighborhood, like months before me and him started talking about him. So I'm gonna do pacifiers. And he was like, who? What's your name? And I'm like, Michaela White. He was like, it looked like you used to talk to my brother. And I'm like, who was your brother? I'm looking like, why? You know, like, who was your brother for you to look at me and be like, I look like, So he was like, Mook. Okay, well, the funny thing is, my very, very first love, long time ago, his name was Mook. So I'm like,
I did used to talk to him.
And so like, they lived neighborhood apart from each other, like. And Mook, that was my boyfriend that passed away. My daddy had knew him, and my daddy would always talk about Lil Mook. He'd be like, "I'm going to get some smoke from Lil Mook," and I'm like, "I don't know who Lil Mook is. Like, I know this Mook, but you know." So
that's crazy,
right? And it's really.
So it's like y'all had ties before y'all had ties,
pretty much.
So and he knew your daddy. So whenever your daddy died, like it was like
and like he knew. He was like, "I bet your daddy would just be turning up." I'm like, "No," because he always like mentioned you, but I just was like, "Who is this Mook that y'all are talking about?" So me and Cheese laugh about that to this day. Because he was like, I told you he was going to be a part of the family before you even knew. And I'm just like, I guess.
Period.
Right.
So, do y'all have any questions? Or what you want to talk about?
Okay, so like, do y'all feel like, I don't know. Life's a lot, let me tell y'all that. I don't know, I hope I like gave people something out of it. Let me say this. I'm strong, but with being strong comes a lot of not being strong. You know, just a lot of.
And then like even having that like persona as you being strong, like people don't really check on you because they feel like you so strong, like you got it. So it's a blessing and a curse.
It is, because like to this day, like it's like, I mean, like I'm close with my mom kinda, but like not really. Like me and her, we had a rocky relationship whenever I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I've learned you just respect your mom. You know, like it's just one of the things you learn that I know what she's talking about type situations. But it's like she just knows. Like you say, everybody knows. They're just like, Michaela, she's fine. Or like they check on me, but like not really. Not in depth. Not how like, you know, I see them checking on like my sister.
Yeah, it's just like in passing, like, oh hey, how you doing? And like they just expect you to say, oh I'm good, and they keep on going. It's not
or
like
just
they
like
really
the help, like just as far as like something simple, you know, just like bringing kids to do something, or just stuff like that, you know. But like you said, it's a gift and a curse, because sometimes I'm just like, ugh, but then whenever I'm like, I want people to help or something, and nobody's there on the call, I'm just like, shit, that's why I'm just keeping moving how I do.
So somebody said, how do you feel about your son asking about his father later on in life?
Ooh, that is something I'm still trying to think about, how I'm gonna, like, really honestly, I mean, I know he's gonna ask, right. You know what I'm saying? I know that he's gonna wonder, and I really pray that God guides me on how to be there for him, because I don't know, I feel like that's something that nobody's gonna be able to fill a void of, or just make him.
Or it's just like you said, like, I mean, his family is involved, so he will still have like images, or like, you know, just like that family bond, like that connection, like, you know, he know his blood, so it's just like, you know, and they have a lot of kids, so I mean, like like
they have a big family, like, and like I said, him being so family oriented and just loving and just, you know,
everybody loved him, so everybody gonna look out.
You know, and it's like that's how their whole family is. So it's just like I said, I know that he didn't just leave, and because you know that's what I would think. I'm just like, why would you just leave? Like you know, like why would you just leave?
I couldn't imagine, like, literally, like, you see him, like, you don't never think that that's your last time. So, like, had you known, like, I mean, this is kind of, like, cliche to ask because you don't know, but, like,
I mean,
to think about it, like, if you would have known, like, that was y'all last time, like, what would you have done differently?
Don't leave because he wasn't supposed to. So, it's like, I really feel like...
If you would have, like, made him, or, like, so to say, like, really... like threw a fit, like something that you know would have made him stay, you feel like he would have stayed? If you would have really pushed it, or do you feel like
it happened
like
so fast? Yeah, like I feel like he didn't know what was going on, and he did not want to. Like he didn't want it there, whatever it was. Like you know, like it was just really a situation of I didn't have no control over it. Like I barely knew what you know, like what
like it was gonna happen regardless. I'd rather it happen away from.
And that's
family.
like I said, like I always say like. That's why I know that, you know, he's with me because he didn't, like, he has never told me, go in the room, some niggas finna come up here. That was his exact words. And like I said, he's somebody who, before he lets anybody know something, like, he's already thought about it or analyzed it. Like, you know, he's not gonna...
He already know his next move.
Yeah, like, before he puts somebody in his move that, you know, just whatever's going on. So for him to tell me that, I took it very serious, like I said, because... You know, if he don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going on. Right. You know, like that's a whole bad situation. Mm-hmm. So it's.
You ever saw the guy that, like, you ever ran into the guy that y'all think did it?
Well, we know, like it's. I haven't.
Because you know.
And it was and it was like it was the 4 people to be directly who were directly involved.
You trying to come to the funeral or anything?
No, and I'm gonna say this like. Me and his family, we weren't close whenever I was pregnant or stuff like that because me and Mookie was doing our own thing. Like, the less people in our business, right? Like, you know, just because we were just...
It wasn't like you was a girlfriend that was just always around. It was like y'all had y'all own life.
Yeah, and I didn't have to
knew who it was.
Right, and
yeah.
You know, it was just like I said, we were just still figuring everything out for ourselves. Like, it literally, y'all, the day that Mook died, earlier in the day, like, I was applying for, because I used to work at a bank, so I was applying for jobs in Texas at banks because we were about to move. Because it's like he felt like he just needed, like he needed to move around. Yeah. That's really how he felt. And so
like he just needed a new scenery.
I think about that too. I'm just like literally everything that I was planning for my life to go like just completely changed. I mean, like, I was having nightmares about the dudes because it's like, just imagine being in the room. You know, you hear mumble jumble. Like, you don't hear what's going on.
But you hear voices. But
you know,
and
it's,
you can't make out what it is.
You know that it's 3 people, you know, because he said 2 dudes was with him, you know, 1 was coming. So it's like, after the fact, just thinking of them being in there. And I'm just in the room. And I'm like, do they even know I'm here?
Right. Like is they going to come back and try to do something? Is they watching me? Like... You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, girl.
I mean, still to this day, and that's why Michaela has a registered gun because, like, I'm not playing with nobody.
Right.
And like I said, like, I had, unfortunately, like, you know, involved myself with things prior to, like, him getting killed. Like, just, I was involved in stuff that...
Like street shit.
Yeah, you know, looking back that, you know, you probably shouldn't get yourself involved in with kids and just all that. So, I definitely... Yeah. Try to move. I move way different. I could say that. I move way different.
Jeez. But it was just like, oh, like I said, I couldn't imagine. Yeah, and even like you never think like your last time is your last time. Like, you know, you just expect them to come back. Like, you don't even think that far. Like, you just think you got time. Like,
and it makes me so upset, y'all, because I just think back on that day, and I just think back like right before we fell asleep, and we literally, like, his friend had just left, and then it was like so much stuff going on that day. I did not know who to. Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck to think or look. Yeah. You know, I'm like, I'm not trying to tell the police stuff that they don't need to know, because then I'm like, you know, I'm not ratting. I don't know what's going on. Right. I really don't. So just them literally coming in there, me being in there, and him telling me to go in there, which validated to me that he didn't know what was going on, and that he loved me enough and cared about me enough to, like, protect me.
Away from
you know what I'm saying? Just protect me in the instance of, you know, going to the room so that they didn't see me. So I've had to transition and just get myself away from everybody. it's hard to trust people. I don't trust people because of that.
Right.
You know, just unfortunately, like, people thought I had something to do with it just because of stuff that happened. Like I said, leading, like,
and then they didn't even really know you. Like the family
exactly
didn't know you,
and,
so it's just like, oh, he was by this girl. We knew he was by this girl, and now all of a sudden he did. Like,
you know, and like, I'm an understanding person, and I have sons, so I completely get it. You know, I completely understand like all the thoughts and you know, stuff like that. So that's why I never.
So did you feel like that took away from like your grieving? Because like you had to prove, or not even prove, but you had to.
I feel like, well, I mean, once what really proved it, you know, was just like the detectives to me being like, I didn't have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like they genuinely knew I didn't have nothing to do with it, but it definitely did, because it's like, how do you ask people to be there for you while you're grieving and they lost a son and they lost a a grandson or a brother or nephew? So it's just that too is kind of just why I've learned. I just have been dealing with it so strong how I have by myself, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they coming around now.
You know, and everything works out. Like I said, I always do what's in the best interest for my baby or my sons in general. So it's time. Time will bring it there. Time will heal everything. Heal how I feel. You know, just the thoughts. Like I said, I still struggle with getting mad and, you know, dealing with anger, and I'll cry because I'm just like, I feel helpless, because I feel like if somebody did something to me, I know he would do something. You know, he already proved that whenever he was here. Like, he proved he had my back, I had his back. So it really bothers me that I feel like I'm not reacting, but I know he wouldn't want me.
Right. It's like you want to do something, but you know you can't.
Because I feel so fucked up for him.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like y'all did him so fucking bad. Like, y'all should really suffer.
Right.
Anybody involved with y'all. And, you know,
it's
so that's why I say, smoke a little bit of weed, drink my wine, be like, you know, because when you get your mind caught up in that, you definitely might go a little crazy.
So do you feel like you strip yourself from emotions? Like, because, like, let's just say if you...
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
like,
because a lot of people don't want to admit
and
that.
I was about to say, like, I didn't even want you to finish because, like, there's no sense, like, And I probably honestly never really was like, to somebody, but I definitely find myself Like, I find myself doing it, and whenever I'm doing it, it's like I have to notice that that's what I'm doing. Because I'm so used
even when you sober up, you know, the wine then left, you know what I'm saying, like, you still have those same problems that you try to drown yourself in, or like drown out, basically, because like you trying to just escape from it all. I mean, escape from the reality of it. Like, I mean, whether it's pain, whether it's, you know, overthinking, like, even if you haven't, like, I feel like people just overthink, period. Like, when you by yourself a lot, like, I overthink all the time, and I don't really have nothing going on drastically or dramatically in my life to where I gotta stress about, but it's still like, you just want to be the best, you know what I'm saying?
And so I've definitely had to, like, realize over these years, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. Like, this perfect mom shit, that's not what, like, there is no, you know, perfect mom.
There's no rule book to parenting.
And just life in general, you know, and definitely being a young parent, on top of, you know, figuring yourself out still is challenging in itself, but to those who are doing it, we're doing it, and that's all we can do. You know, just keep your mind stuck to that and stay focused.
And then just like you say too, just like remembering, like, and feeling his presence, like, you know, make it all better. But like I said, girl, I just couldn't imagine, your son, like, you have a black man, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you mix, but I'm just saying, like, you have a black son, you know what I'm saying, who's going to be identified as African American, and, you know what I'm saying, so he's fatherless, like, you know what I'm saying, regardless if he have father figures, like, he is fatherless, a fatherless son, and you a black man, like, you know what I'm saying, just the trauma from that. You know, like, I had did a suicide podcast, like, trying to commit suicide podcast. And I tried to commit suicide one time, and I was just speaking on my podcast about how, like, me thinking about the trauma that my son would have, like, looking for
the emptiness.
Right.
Excuse me. You know, so I definitely, I think God is gonna bless me with someone who loves me and all my kids.
Right,
years, whenever it comes.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like you say. It's never gonna be like.
It's nothing that nobody can feel, and it's nothing that I, or, you know, I don't feel like anybody can tell him the correct way to go about it, but I'm just gonna be there how I can and just try to, I don't know, just try to give him, I guess, I don't know, y'all.
I mean, the only thing you could do is like keep his name alive, you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
He's named after his daddy, so definitely that was a no-brainer, you know. I never thought I'd have a son named Reginald, but you know, it works. I'm like, okay,
I look like a Reggie.
Look, I be like Reggie, like Reg, so right, like whenever I call him Reginald, I just be thinking about his daddy, and so it's you know, like I said, up,
like
down,
you find happiness in the pain, like you know
have,
what I'm saying. It's always beauty in the struggle, like you know, it's like you going through something right now, but it's just like thinking about where you came from and where you at now. It just brings you joy and know that you go get further in life, like you know what I'm saying. It's just like you got people looking up to you, and you know, and you gotta be strong for you too, like you know what I'm saying. And you gotta understand too, like if you not good, like you pouring it into your kids. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, because if you depressed, you moping around, like not that it's no right or wrong, right? Like, but you know,
mean, but and that's the thing. Like that's why I'm kind of glad that I discovered I even had anxiety earlier on, because I really have learned how to deal with it and like how to not let myself get. And like, thank God, you know, I've never been depressed. I've never had to go through depression. You know, so that's kind of different from anxiety. So I never really had to deal with like, you know, not being able to literally physically do stuff, you know, but it's points throughout the day where my mind is just like, y'all, like you know, because you know, it's just so much. But
look, I got one and I'd be like,
birth control.
Like, boy, okay, walking and talking birth control.
Look, but no, it's I'm sorry, it's
But that's also the people that you rely on, like you rely on your kids, because like I always say like, my son is the one yes that I'm gonna always get. Like the world will tell you no, you will get rejected, you know, stuff not gonna go in your favor, but your kids is the ones, your one yes.
Literally my kid, like my son Bryce yesterday, he asked me could I fix him some cereal, and I fixed it. He was like, thank you, my majesty. Like they are just so, like they do stuff that I look at them and I be like, I don't really even need a man. Like, you know, like I just have them.
Girl, look.
Bryce they were like, you know, you think about it, then like, you know, to a certain extent. But, you know, it just gives you that emptiness that you sometimes catch myself feeling, you know, and then it's just stuff that they do where just, it makes me feel void. Like, you know.
Stop, man.
Look, y'all love the kid.
Girl, this boy.
I'm trying to vote for you to come for him doing this stupid shit now.
Oh my God.
But no, and you know this, I'm gonna be honest, it's probably really the only thing that has keeping me going from a lot of things in life is my kid. Like,
so what has the hardest day looked like for you? Like if you could say right now, since you've lost your child's father, like what was the hardest day for you? And how did that look?
Like giving birth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest, that was really the hardest. That was really the hardest. Like I really almost didn't even want my mama to be there, just because I was just so shut down, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
like just thinking the thoughts of what could have been.
And it's like whenever you find out you're pregnant, like I said, like this was a pregnancy I was considering not going through with,
right.
You know, and you think back of, okay, whenever I made that decision, right? And then I think about like how he was there for me, he was happy, you know, and then I think about the thoughts that I was thinking back then, like, you know, whenever I would be giving birth, he would be here, you know, just you think about how your life's
like you just knew, like, you know, like I said from the jump, like, you know, like, oh, I got her forever, like even if we not together, like it's forever, like I know he will be there.
A great friend, like I knew that for sure. So that's why, even like I say, the thought just it sucks. It really does. Yeah. Like I never thought that I would have to not only deal with losing someone like that I was, you know, in a relationship with, have a son with, but to lose him so viciously, how like, you know, and to feel like no justice was really served. Like it's
so do you feel like if he would have lost his life in another way, it would have been not better, so to say, but I'm just saying like a better cope and like.
That's why, like, so whenever I was saying, like, he always prepared me that he would never be here. Like, I thought, like, I swear, like, I thought, like, maybe it would be, like, a shootout. Like, I never seen somebody taking him out. And I'm not going to say so easily, because it wasn't easily, because they had to put in work to play him close. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation where it's just, like, it literally, I know God put me and him together for the reason that he did. for me to see stuff, for him to see stuff, for me to have his son, you know, and I don't know. Like I said, I thought.
Guess what? This carrying on his name.
You know,
can't do that.
And that's something, and it's really funny because he had the people that were involved. They have kids, and our kids are gonna grow. They're around the same age, and it's gonna be a day whenever, like I said, how life works.
Yeah,
and I'm getting chills. Like you know, like it's definitely gonna run.
Yeah,
into
it's always
gonna run.
You gonna have to face that. Like he gonna have to face that, and like I know his conscience is just like. I couldn't imagine, like,
you know what,
knowing that I took somebody's life and, like, for nothing, though. Like, whether it was street. I mean, but then on the same token, you know, it's like.
You thinking about why.
If you live by the street, like, that's what it is. Like, you got to prepare yourself for it.
And this is somebody who had 4 guns. He left the house with 2. Like, he had 2 guns on him whenever he got killed. They shot him over 15 times. Like, you know, it's real.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, for me to be looking at his 2 guns and knowing that he had 2 with him and he still died. Yeah, and it's crazy because...
And none of them got shot.
Mm-mm.
So it's like...
So it's like in the police report, right, it says, like, that he told them that he was sleeping in the car. And then some people walked up, whatever, like that. I feel like that, he said that because he knew who it was. He didn't want to tell them who it was. Like I said, y'all, I fell asleep right after he left, so that's why I say he could have fell asleep, you know, because he wasn't supposed to leave. Like, we were tired, like, a lot of stuff had happened that day, you know, so, and they shot him in Gardier, then they drove to, like, a park, and they dumped his body, and he called them off his Apple Watch. He called 911 off his Apple Watch. Damn. That he had just got back, like, a week before. He had just got it back a week before, and he made it from Highland to Our Lady of the Lake, and he didn't die till he got to the hospital. So, you know, just even me thinking about just the pain of what he was going through while he was just thinking, you know, just being in the car with them, like,
about
you know, and just thinking about,
and then probably thinking he was gonna live and he was gonna handle it. So that's why.
And I know that's why he didn't tell them. I feel like he told like a nurse, or he told one person. He had to say the person's name before he died, like, because that's just, you know, how they knew that. Yeah. Somebody else knew who I was talking about, but you know, you definitely just think about. Like, you really be like, fuck you for doing, like, it's really, really, really.
And then to drive and, like, don't, like, that's execution.
It's so vicious. That's why I said, like, just how it was done and just the effort put into doing that to him is why I get so mad sometimes.
And it's like, so do you feel like when people say, like, because I noticed, like, when you first came on, you say he was murdered. So do you feel like people, like, strip away like from what really happened when you say, oh, he died, or like he got killed, because it don't even like really explain the explicit
what happened exactly.
Yeah. So you feel like
you're correct.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find myself like, even whenever I was pregnant, I'd just be going to the doctor, like, you know, everybody knew what happened, and I had to tell them from jump, because I'm just like, you know, like,
don't make me revisit it.
Yeah, like, it was kind of a situation where just like, I don't really want to talk about it.
Because they always say she with a daddy.
You know, and I'm just like, look. And whenever I told her, she really was like, oh my gosh. And like, in that moment, I really realized, like, I'm like, am I saying it not like sad enough? Like, I had to think to myself, like, you know, but then it just made me realize, like, I have feelings, like, you know, and no matter how easily I try to just, you know, how easily I come off, it's hard, but
yeah. Like I said, I noticed, like, when you said, oh, he was murdered, like, you said that with, like, a lot of
because that's really what happened, you know, and I try to say, like, passed away or died or just killed, something like that, for people not to be like, what happened?
Right.
You know, or just be like, oh, what happened? And then sometimes I'm just like, they might just feel like it's just a regular.
So do you feel like it's something that, like, that needs to be spoken about? Like, do you feel like you speaking out, like saying, like, okay, this is what happened, you know, like, this is my side, this is what I know, like, I was with him in his last hours, like, you know, do you feel like people need to really speak that? Because I don't know if you know, but like, my podcast is about like trauma and like, you know, like just basically talking about stuff that we sweep under the rug, or like, you know, people just basically say like, get over it, or like they think
they try to, like, you know, it's like they try to tell you how to deal with it, but it's things that like only you can figure out how to deal with it.
Right.
But definitely I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like from watching the first 48, that's how I even let myself be a victim in the situation. Because at first I was just so like, just I didn't know what to think or feel or just anything. But definitely if you go through something like this, like it's not easy. And like I'm just now noticing after carrying him for 10 months because he didn't come out till the day before he was supposed to be born. But just then and now, like it's like the only way I think you're gonna probably be able to deal with your actual emotions is talking about it.
And like just to visit it, sit in it, and then it versus like saying, well, time go heal it, and every day like you just pushing it under the rug. But just sit in them emotions, like sit in those emotions so you can identify them when they later come in. You can say like, okay, I dealt with it. Like it's okay to cry. Not saying, because I know. Like even being at the park, you seeing people with their dads, or you see your kids with their dads. Like what I'm saying, like you just feel like damn, like he lost out. Like not even he lost out, but he don't have a father. Like
he'll never be able to get that experience from his actual dad.
Right.
Like, and that's something like I say that is really, really. It's just when you sit there and you think in your emotions and you think about everything, it makes it way more real. I'm not gonna say it's not real,
but it's just like when it's just like to even think about it or revisit it like this. Like you have to really get in tune with your emotions and everything that you swept under or like really put deep down. Like it gotta come out.
Right, and like I think whenever I was pregnant, I would be like, not telling myself like, I don't know. I just think that I like made myself kind of numb in a way of like there's
your mind
people, pretty much like there's people who do this all the time, and people who that's really what I was thinking. I was like, people do this all the time. I'm like, some people have dads and they don't want to be they don't want to be involved. But then whenever I had
strong because it's just like you said, especially coming from somewhere like where your first kids, like your first set of kids, like their dad was there, like you had that experience, and now like you experiencing it from a whole different side, like you know what I'm saying, and like just to even have that mindset of like, okay, like I'm pregnant, I don't want to cause stress on my baby, and it's like that make you can't even.
And I think that's really what I mean. Like me and him, like you have a different bond with all of your kids. Yeah. But it's like me and him. Like I know he's gonna be my ace because, and my other kids are too. But our ace in a different way.
Favorites. But it's just like y'all have different bonds.
Exactly.
But it's like y'all went through this together.
We went through it together, and that's really how I feel with him. Like I think about whenever I was pregnant, I was just so sad and just just sad about the whole situation. I would think about him, and that's what helped me get through it. So he's my little one right there.
All right, y'all. So if y'all don't have no more questions,
thank y'all for having me. This was I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I needed this.
Yeah,
I really did. Because
it is good to even just have somebody like to even like this is a break, like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't think people understand like you need like people interaction, grown up interaction, like
because the kid conversations don't be cutting it.
Okay. Like they will, baby, girl.
Like they be like, I'm just like I need some adult conversation. Like if I can go to the store and just have a mental clear moment, I'll be fine.
Like that's how I used to be. I'm like I'm just appreciated like going to the store and not having to get a baby out the backseat.
Yeah, see now I'm just stuck with like the other day, y'all. I was dreading this one time. I was just dreading the thought of going to the store with 3 children. Yeah. Another day, my ass went to the store with 3 children, and guess what? I'm like, come on, because that's all we can do. I gotta go in the store, and so I think.
And don't touch no and sit down.
I learned how to pinch. I pinch and pluck, and when we in public, what the fuck out. Look, they just bust out crying like, what? I'm just.
Get it together now. I know.
Yeah,
that's where they come from.
So they get mad because you do it on the slick.
Yeah,
they get mad. And I pinch hard.
But yes.
So, I be talking to him about he's so up and alert.
He's a happy baby.
Let me see.
He's very happy. Yo, yeah, he can.
Let me see.
And he definitely, it's just like stuff I feel like he's been here before.
Yo, this is like Oprah. I have like an Oprah Winfrey show. So.
Girl, get the fuck.
This is first
Who you
look
have Oprah Moon
of the baby. Look how handsome.
Look at the product. Hi.
She is so cute. Look how you looking like
this.
My mommy.
On that mommy.
Oh, hi.
Look. Say hi. First look.
And y'all, my other children are like a little bit darker than me. And
Yeah, but he is chocolate.
Baby, like,
He is so cute.
Oh, he is so good. Look how handsome. I love babies. But here you go.
Oh, look, that's why you love me. Give them back.
Yes, I don't have mine back.
Huh, kiddo. So,
he is so cute.
He is something. And he really like does
He's
stuff.
a happy baby.
He is. He's the best baby that I have. Huh, man. I'm talking about an easy
Look at that
delivery.
hair, girl.
And let me tell y'all, my other kids, they hair like they daddy.
Like they daddy.
Look, they daddy used to be like, it's for me. And so whenever I had him, I'm like, so who got the bad hair? Because they got different daddies.
Right.
So,
But
definitely a little blessing.
yes. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
Share. Share. But I also got a YouTube, so this will be uploaded to YouTube in what is it called? Anchor. So I'm gonna post it once I get done editing it and stuff like that. Y'all gotta bear with me because this is my first.
It's awesome though. I think it's gonna be great. Like, you're talking about all the things that need to be talked about.
Yes.
As long as you have positive people.
Yes, and I have pretty good like viewers. Like, they not really commenting today, I guess, because they speechless.
It's fine.
But like,
when
we talking about other stuff, like girl,
They tuned in.
girl,
They
yes,
tuned in.
I have really good supporters.
That's awesome. And you know
yes.
what? That's the thing too, y'all. Check in with y'all people on mental.
Oh yes,
Yeah, you know,
Mental health
just check in with them.
Oh, the strong ones, the strong friends.
Because you know, even them, they be the ones that they be going through it, and you be like, oh, they so strong, you know, they okay. But like in reality, just check in with them. Just check in with people. You know, if people, I feel like if people mention, you know, a therapist or something like
don't discourage them.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like don't force. Yes.
Oh
don't
my gosh.
Don't force them, but open a door and like, you know,
Just
like I'm just the type of person like this. Like if you come to me and say, man, I'm going through something, like my peoples call me all the time. Like people on here inbox me and be like, oh, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. I'm like, well, look, I'm not gonna tell you do this, that, and the other, but I'm gonna just tell you from my experience, or I'm gonna just hear you talk. Cause sometimes you just need an ear. Like you don't necessarily need nobody to give you a response. Like it's just like, man, I've been holding this in. Like I just want to, you know, talk. And
yes, you agree. Hi,
girl, he is just them jaws.
Right? Okay,
but yes, not on camera.
Not on camera.
But no, like definitely, like mental health awareness is like. It's not as advocated as it should. Like,
yes. and it factors into so many things that go on, and that we just don't see because it's just not talked about or it's just not identified. So I definitely, you know, support
and definitely
just getting that just I guess advice, but just talking to someone,
to somebody, and then if you feel like you're not getting nowhere with that person, you know what I'm saying, and be vocal about what you need. Like, look, I'm just calling you because I just need somebody to listen. Like, you know what I'm saying, because people think when you call them, like you need them to speak or you need them to say something. We don't always have the answers, you know, because I can't tell somebody who mama died, like, oh girl, I feel you, because I don't. I still got a mama who I can call and I can be under, I can talk to. So I don't know how you feel, but I can empathize with you, like, you know what I'm saying, but it's not the same.
And you know that I find myself telling people a lot too, like, I really cut that it's gonna be okay stuff.
Oh yes, or pray about it.
You know, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be harder before it gets better, but as long as you keep focused on that it's gonna get better, it will get better. So for anybody who's going through just anything, you know, it
will get better, but I think the number one, first and foremost, like, you have to sit in those emotions. Like, don't think just because, you know, you're not crying. Like, yeah, you have to come to terms with reality. And sometimes you have to cry. And sometimes you might cry, but don't cry to quit. Don't cry to give up. Cry to keep going.
Cry to let it out and you keep going.
And you keep going because life still gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Life don't care about who you just lost. Life don't care about what light just got cut off or what bills not paid, because life gonna keep on happening.
You gotta figure it out.
So you have to adjust and you have to be versatile and you have to understand that, yeah, life life happen and I'm gonna be in tune with this emotion, but it can't last forever because I gotta find some good in it.
Yep.
Like, you know, and I mean it's easier said than done because like I said,
I've never practice it, you know.
Right. Once you and once you get an understanding of it before stuff even happen, you'll be, you know,
that
more
mental
prone
preparation,
to,
like you
yeah,
said.
mental preparation.
That I guess I didn't notice that's what I be doing.
Yeah, and you got
know,
it.
Yeah.
Shit, 'cause you good.
Years, look, like I said, 2015 to 2025 years, yeah. But I mean, it's worth it, you know. You.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Thank you, girl, for coming
I
and
had
telling.
a blast.
Yes, it was real nice to hear.
Adult time, you know. That's why I was happy. I swear, I'm like, y'all.
Thank you, girl. We should have got more.
Oh, we have more.
We have more where that came from.
Period. So yes, again, don't forget YouTube. Yeah, I don't really have, like, I just made my
See,
YouTube.
we got a great supporter right there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my assistant. Oh no, what you want to be?
I'm the creative director.
Oh, she's the creative
that's a
director
nice
behind the
title.
scenes. Yes. Everybody give it up for Tig. Woo 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 woo. So yes, but yes, I'm definitely gonna post like my YouTube and my Anchor. So y'all gotta download that, tell a friend, share, and as usual, thank y'all for tuning in to Talking with the Twist.
Talking with a twist, sorry.
And Talking with the Twist.
Right, okay, sorry.
Harvey!
I find myself doing weird shit like that whenever you have kids. You know, then your kids be doing shit, you just be like, oh my gosh, they're crying.
All right,
just
Harvey,
like
take
that.
us out, Harvey.
Take us out. I
Scoot
ain't no
on.
rapper.
Yeah, y'all got, you gotta get the.
I ain't no rapper. TJ the Trapper.
Diddy in the
Yeah.
morning, okay.
Talking with the Twist. Talking with the
Right,
Twist.
there goes the twist.
I said we talking with a twist and we twist when we talking. Ooh.
Oh, she's freestyling. That's what that sounds
She ain't
like.
crip
Going.
walking. Ooh,
Hey.
Look at me.
And he crip walking.
Ooh.
Oh. Backing it up, backing
Right.
it up. Bye, y'all.
See you
Thank
later.
you. Say bye to the baby.
Adios.
Say bye, baby.
Girl, thank you.
Thank y'all.
Man.